In the golden age of the Roman Republic, the city buzzed with soldiers, merchants, and senators plotting their ambitions. Among the crowded streets lived Marcus Valerius, a decorated centurion haunted by whispers of an ancient prophecy. After years on the battlefield, he longed for peace, but fate had other plans. Rumors spread of a forgotten relic hidden beneath Rome itself, a relic that could either strengthen the Republic or destroy it. Many dismissed the tale as myth, but Marcus knew too well that legends often carried hidden truths waiting to be unearthed. One night after a Senate debate turned violent, a hooded stranger slipped a wax tablet into Marcus's hand. The message contained strange markings and a single phrase, "Find the eye before Rome burns." At first, he considered it a cruel jest, yet when he compared the symbols with old scrolls from campaigns in the East, they matched warnings about the Eye of Mithras, an object said to grant immense power. The Senate might seek it for control, but Rome's enemies could use it for destruction. Marcus's instincts told him that something dangerous stirred beneath the city.
The next morning, Marcus met his closest friend, Lucius, a gladiator who had won his freedom. Over cups of watered wine, Marcus revealed the message. Lucius scoffed, yet his eyes betrayed curiosity. If it exists, brother, Rome would tear itself apart to possess it. Together, they decided to search quietly. Their first clue led them to the old Mithraeum beneath the Aventine Hill, where soldiers once worshipped the Persian god Mithras. As they descended into the dim temple, torches flickering against carved bull-slaying murals, Marcus felt a chill creep into his bones, as if history itself was watching. Inside the Mithraeum, a hidden chamber revealed itself when Lucius pressed a loose stone in the altar. Beyond the threshold, they discovered frescoes depicting Roman flames, with a glowing gem at the center of the chaos. At the foot of the mural, a riddle etched in Latin read, "Only blood untainted by greed may claim the eye." The meaning unsettled Marcus. Was it a test of purity or a warning of sacrifice? Before they could ponder further, they heard footsteps echoing behind them. A group of cloaked figures entered. The cult of Mithras had been watching them.
The cult leader, draped in crimson robes, addressed Marcus with a voice deep as thunder. "The eye is not for men of war, but for guardians of destiny. Leave now, or face Rome's doom." Lucius drew his sword instantly, unwilling to yield, but Marcus hesitated. Something about the leader's words carried both menace and truth. The cult attacked, forcing the companions to fight within the sacred chamber. Blades clashed under torchlight, shadows dancing across the ancient walls. When the dust settled, Marcus and Lucius barely escaped alive, wounded yet more determined than ever to uncover the relic's secret. They retreated to Marcus's villa on the outskirts of the city. While Lucius recovered, Marcus studied the riddle again. He realized that blood untainted by greed might refer not to purity of spirit, but to lineage, perhaps a child or someone who had not yet been corrupted by ambition. Yet who could they trust? His thoughts turned to Aurelia, the daughter of a senator known for her kindness and wisdom beyond her years. She had once helped Marcus during a famine relief effort, and unlike most nobles, she sought no power. Perhaps she held the key to unlocking the eye.
Meeting Aurelia in secret, Marcus explained the danger in the relic's legend. Instead of fear, her eyes lit with determination. "If Rome's safety depends on this, then I will help." That night, she joined them beneath the Aventine Hill once more. The cult had abandoned the site after the skirmish, but Marcus felt eyes following them nonetheless. Inside lay a sarcophagus of white marble, glowing faintly with golden light. As they approached, Aurelia gasped. The sarcophagus bore her family crest, a lineage stretching back to Rome's founders. Within rested a crystal sphere pulsing like a heartbeat, the Eye of Mithras. When Aurelia touched it, visions surged through the chamber. Rome's future battles, its emperors rising and falling, cities burning and legions marching into eternity. Yet amid the chaos, a fragile light flickered, a chance to save Rome from collapse. Aurelia staggered back, shaken but resolute. "This power is not mine. It belongs to Rome itself." But before they could decide what to do, soldiers stormed in, led by a familiar face.
It was Senator Cassius, Aurelia's uncle, notorious for his ruthless ambition. His spies had followed Marcus all along. "You've done well, niece," Cassius sneered, "bringing me the power that will make me the true master of Rome." He ordered the soldiers to seize the relic.
Lucius resisted, cutting down 2 men, while Marcus shielded Aurelia. The chamber erupted into chaos. As Cassius reached for the eye, Aurelia cried out of, "The prophecy warned against greed!" The relic flared with searing light, burning Cassius's hands and throwing him backward. The soldiers faltered, their faith in their master suddenly shaken. In the confusion, Marcus grabbed Aurelia's hand, and together they fled through hidden tunnels, Lucius covering their escape. They emerged into the moonlit forum, breathless and weary. Yet even as they caught their breath, Marcus realized their struggle had only begun. Cassius still lived, and his hunger for power would only grow. Rome stood at the brink, threatened not by foreign enemies, but by corruption within. Marcus resolved to guard Aurelia and the relic, even if it meant sacrificing everything. For the first time in years, his purpose felt clear, not as a soldier of war, but as a protector of destiny.
Over the next weeks, Aurelia studied the eye in secret, guided by visions that came to her in dreams. She discovered that the relic did not grant power in the way men expected. It revealed truth, laying bare the hidden motives of all who approached it. Corrupt senators appeared as twisted shadows, while honest hearts glowed with light. "This is why they fear it," Aurelia told Marcus. "It exposes the greed that poisons Rome." Marcus saw the danger. If the Senate discovered this, they would either destroy Aurelia or enslave her for their schemes. The eye had become both gift and curse. Cassius struck back with cunning, spreading lies that Marcus had stolen sacred treasures from the temples. Soldiers hunted him through the streets, forcing him to hide in taverns, catacombs, and even gladiator barracks. Yet with each narrow escape, more common people rallied to his side. Merchants whispered of a centurion fighting for Rome's soul, not its rulers. Gladiators offered sanctuary, remembering Lucius's valor. A quiet rebellion brewed, not of swords, but of trust. The eye had begun to awaken not just Aurelia, but the spirit of Rome itself. For Marcus, hope flickered that they could outlast Cassius's schemes.
The climax came during a great festival at the Colosseum, where Cassius intended to declare himself supreme leader. Tens of thousands gathered as he prepared his speech. But before he could speak, Aurelia appeared in the stands, holding the eye. Its light bathed the arena, revealing Cassius's true form, not as a noble statesman, but as a writhing shadow of greed. Gasps echoed through the crowd as the illusion shattered his reputation. Soldiers who once followed him now recoiled, unwilling to serve a man stripped of honor. Marcus stood ready, sword in hand, should Cassius attempt violence. Humiliated and desperate, Cassius lunged at Aurelia. Marcus intercepted him, their blades clashing under the roar of the crowd. It was not merely a duel of men, but of Rome's future. Honor versus corruption. The fight raged until Marcus disarmed his foe, pressing the blade to his throat. "This ends now," Marcus declared. But Aurelia intervened, raising the eye. Its light engulfed Cassius, showing him visions of his own downfall. Broken, he collapsed, begging for mercy. The Senate had no choice but to exile him, stripped of power, his ambition consumed by shame. Rome had narrowly avoided destruction from within.
In the aftermath, Aurelia entrusted the eye to a hidden sanctuary, vowing it would never be used for selfish gain. Marcus, weary yet fulfilled, returned to his villa. Though he longed for quiet, he knew his name would forever be tied to the relic's legend. Lucius continued to fight in Rome's defense, though now he wore freedom with pride. And Aurelia, though young, became a voice of justice within the Senate. The three of them had faced shadows of both men and destiny and emerged as Rome's unlikely guardians. Years later, when Marcus walked the streets as an old man, children whispered tales of the Eye of Mithras and the centurion who saved Rome without conquering it. He would smile quietly, knowing truth often hides behind myth. Yet deep in the catacombs, the eye still pulsed faintly, waiting for the day Rome might need it again.
For though empires rise and fall, the true strength of Rome was never in relics or rulers. It was in those willing to fight for its soul, even
Years
against
drifted
the
into
shadows
decades,
within.
and the tale of the Eye became less history and more whispered legend. Rome still marched forward, its banners flying across continents, its rulers rising and falling in endless cycles. Yet beneath the grandeur, the people remembered the courage of Marcus, the wisdom of Aurelia, and the loyalty of Lucius. They had faced shadows not of foreign armies, but of Rome's own ambition and corruption, and had chosen honor over greed. Marcus grew old, walking the streets of the city he had once fought to save. Children pointed and whispered, telling stories of the centurion who had defied senators and cults alike. Aurelia's voice in the Senate brought fairness where deceit once thrived, and Lucius became a symbol that strength was not measured by chains, but by freedom and loyalty. Together, they had shaped a Rome that valued its soul more than its power. Deep in the catacombs, untouched by time, the Eye of Mithras pulsed faintly, waiting. Its glow was neither a curse nor a weapon, but a reminder that Rome's true strength was never in relics or rulers. It lay in those willing to guard its spirit even when the shadows came from within.